Okay, so let's unpack this. I mean, imagine you are standing outside the most exclusive, high stakes event of the year, right?
Right, like a massive line, velvet rope, the whole deal.
Exactly. And people are trying absolutely everything to get in. They're, flashing cash or listing off their accomplishments, practically handing over their resumes to the bouncer. But then you just walk right up to the front and the velvet rope parts for you.
Not because you worked the door or, paid a heavy fee.
Yeah, exactly. Simply because you trusted the person who handed you a VIP pass. And that VIP pass dynamic is really the core of today's text.
It really is. It's a total bypass of the traditional entry requirements.
We are looking at a daily devotional titled Righteousness by Faith. It's from Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris. And our mission today is to explore how this text redefines that ancient debate of faith versus works. And, well, specifically what it claims that means for your personal identity.
Right, because what's fascinating here is how the text lays its foundation. It uses the book of Romans, specifically chapter 1, verse 17. And it presents the gospel not as this, rigid list of rules to follow, but as a declaration. The claim is that people are justified and brought into oneness with God purely through faith.
Basically means having your record completely expunged. Like you never did anything wrong, and you're put in perfect standing with the Creator.
Exactly, yes. And the faith part is key because it's produced when a person realizes what God has done for them.
If it's a VIP pass, doesn't the act of, trusting the person handing you the pass still count as a requirement? Like, isn't having this faith just another type of work you have to do to get in?
That is a great question. But the text argues that faith isn't a currency you manufacture to, buy your way in.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's actually produced in your spirit the moment you realize what God has already done for you. So the mechanism here is alignment.
Like a computer syncing to a master server.
Yes, perfect analogy. You aren't rewriting your own hard drive line by line. You just plug into a new network and you instantly inherit all of the network's credentials.
I really like that server analogy. But if the bouncer truly isn't checking resumes, how do we know the system actually works? Like, does the text give us real-world examples of people who plugged in and got past the velvet rope with, let's say, terrible resumes?
Oh, it definitely does. And it uses a pretty shocking example to make the point. They also points us to Hebrews chapter 11.
Which is basically the Hall of Fame of faith, right?
Right. Historically, that is how it's viewed. You've got your expected heavyweights in there. Abel, Enoch, Noah, Abraham, Moses.
The pillars of good behavior.
Exactly. But right there in that exact same list, it highlights the harlot Rahab.
Oh, wow, Rahab, that's a shift.
Yeah, it's a huge shift. According to the account in Joshua chapter 2, Rahab wasn't exactly a moral exemplar.
No, definitely not.
But she made the list because she believed in the God of Israel's victory before it actually happened. She aligned her system to their network, to use your analogy.
And that single act of trust brought her into God's purpose.
It did, so deeply, in fact, that she is actually recorded in the lineage of Jesus. Her inclusion proves the text's core argument.
Which is that you are no longer defined by your past, but by what you receive in your spirit. To put this in perspective for you listening, this isn't just about letting someone with a criminal record into the building. This is like putting the most notorious outsider on the board of directors.
It really is. The big aha moment here is that this ultimate Hall of Fame isn't a museum of perfect people. It's a roster of people who simply knew how to accept a gift.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Let's bring this out of ancient history. How does a story like Rahab's connect to a modern reader's everyday mindset?
Well, the devotional points to how the Apostle Paul progressively unfolds this idea in Romans and in Philippians chapter 3, verses 8 and 9. The ultimate takeaway from all this is a complete abandonment of trying to qualify for God's acceptance through your own works.
So basically, stop trying to follow the law just to prove you are worthy.
Right. The text urges the reader to stop striving and instead live with the absolute assurance that you are already accepted. You just have to embrace the righteousness of Christ.
Put the resume away. The door is already open.
Exactly.
By the way, for those of you who want to explore the source material for yourselves, you can visit www.rhapsodyofrealities.org for more.
It's definitely worth checking out if you want to dig deeper into the devotional.
Absolutely. But before we wrap up, let's go back to that velvet rope. If this text is right, and your righteousness is imparted purely by faith, regardless of your history, how might completely dropping the exhausting need to earn your worth change the way you interact with the world tomorrow?
That is a really great question to think about.
What happens to your ambitions when you no longer have anything to prove?
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.